So if you're familiar with the idea of extortion, then you know the feeling well. Now, some of these threats were so thinly veiled that I'm frankly surprised you didn't all guess immediately.
Stephen has a lot going on, I guess is the best way to say it. He has a lot going on, and that should be clear because people don't do stuff like this if there's not a lot going on in their lives. I would like to implore my audience and everybody that isn't paying attention to the situation not to condemn him, but to pray for him. So what I did this morning after this clip was sent to me is I contacted a defamation lawyer, and I am sending Steven Crowder a cease and desist, and I'm going to demand a full-throated retraction to the idea that Candace Owens threatened him or extorted him.
This video is brought to you by PureTalk, brought to you by PureTalk.com. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you are spending way too much money on your cell phone, get you a PureTalk phone. I was telling my mama just the other day, she told me a phone bill. I say, Mama, why did you have a PureTalk phone? $30 a month for unlimited talk, text, and a whole bunch of data. And the cool thing about PureTalk that I absolutely love, and I think they were brilliant when they did it, is that you don't have to change your number and you don't have to change your phone. You could take your phone number right over to PureTalk and get an incredible discount. The CEO, the founder of PureTalk, is a U.S. veteran, customer service right here in the United States of America. And if you put in or dial pound 250 and say Brandon Tatum, you'll get half off your first month bill. So dial pound 250, say Brandon Tatum. Link is in the description section. Switch to PureTalk today. Like and subscribe to the channel. Y'all already know what to do. Let's get into this. Candace Owens and Steven Crowder. Now, I want to play a clip from Candace Owens responding to Steven Crowder. And let me just preface this real quick. Steven Crowder has made claims, or it came out. Let me just start from the beginning because I think people that may not know nothing about Steven Crowder is one of the biggest conservative YouTubers, have an incredible show. I mean, the show is funny. It's informative. He has one of the best shows on the internet, period. Now, the problem with Steven Crowder, in my opinion, is that Steven Crowder ain't who you think he is. Every single person that I've talked to that made mention about Steven Crowder, other than maybe like one or two people that didn't say something negative about him. And then he comes out and did this whole thing.
But for the first time, I have to say that I believe many of those in charge in the right-leaning media are actually at odds with what's best for you, the viewer, the customer, and more importantly, the country. Big tech is in bed with Big Con. The people you thought, the people I thought were fighting for you, a lot of it has been a big con. Now, I'm specifically avoiding naming names or going after individuals in this video because I genuinely hope that those I'm addressing, and you know who you are, have a change of heart. It's never too late to do the right thing. Guys, this is a genuine plea. We can all do better. We can all do better. It doesn't have to be this way. And please, don't make me have to provide receipts.
Yeah, he did this whole thing about how the contracts are screwing smaller conservatives and content creators. And look at this contract. And he puts this contract up on his page, and he kind of blurs out where the contract came from, but the verbiage in the contract, where if you get banned on social media platforms, they'll dock your pay in this contractual situation with the content creator in a platform, or a content creator in a I don't know what you call them, a network. And then he made mention of you could lose up to $200,000 in a year. Now, see, I do this, right? I got 2 million subscribers on YouTube. I do this content stuff just like he does. But the general public don't know what he's talking about. So when he said you can lose up to $200,000 in 1 year, that made me think, how much are they paying you that you can lose $200,000? So he make this big fuss just to launch his own platform. I forget the name of it. Come on and sign up because they screwing us. Making himself the victim. The thing that he wasn't anticipating is that the company that he was bashing actually came out. Ended up being Daily Wire. And Daily Wire's Jeremy Bourne said this ain't what happened. Let me bring the facts to you. We offered Steven Crowder $50-some million for a 3-year contract, which he left out of his original video because he didn't want y'all to know how much money is being made. And he denied the $50-some million contract. That's some NFL money. And some of the purviews are related to companies bringing you on, investing in you, and taking a chance. That's how they can pay you $58 million, because you ain't generated $58 million. They're taking a chance and a risk, and they have investors that's going to get on board to try to push you to that level. And if they're making money while they push you to that level on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and all that, you get banned, they're not going to bring no money in. So they're going to have to penalize you to some degree if you now get banned on a platform where you got 5 million people. Therefore, they don't have a revenue source. So Jeremy Bourne came out and just laid the hammer down. And to me, it made me lose all but a little bit of respect for Steven Crowder because of that. And what happened recently is that now he's come out and declared to the world, unfortunately, he's going through a divorce. He claimed that Candace Owens prematurely exposed to the world that he was getting a divorce, claiming that her negligence and exposure of his divorce put his kids in danger. I have zero respect for him now. Zero. I mean, I'm in the negatives right now. It ain't even zero. It's like negative 15. Why you gotta be so fake? You know Candace ain't got nothing to do with you and your wife getting a divorce and exposing it. Ain't got nothing to do with it. All right, let me play the clip I'm going to go with Candace, clip 4.
That's it. That's the big, scary story. I then went onto my platform and I said, pray for Steven Crowder, honestly, because that's what he needs. He needs a prayer. And apparently nobody's answering those prayers right now because he's still acting erratic. He's now upping the ante and suggesting that I extorted him. I will not take that lightly, okay? I am not Hillary Crowder. I am not anybody in his family. I am not going to take somebody going onto his platform and alleging that I either harassed, threatened, or did anything that would put his children at risk. That is very serious stuff that he is saying. And so what I did this morning after this clip was sent to me is I contacted a defamation lawyer, and I am sending Steven Crowder a cease and desist. And I'm going to demand a full-throated retraction to the idea that Candace Owens threatened him or extorted him. And not that I simply did a little math. 1 + 1 = 2. A crazy man doing these sorts of things to his friends obviously means that something is going on personally. Honestly, this time, I'm not even going to suggest that anybody should pray for him. I am so deeply troubled by the idea that he is trying to insert me into this narrative pertaining to his divorce. I'm frankly angry about this. So I'm going to hope that he does the right thing, okay, that he does another one of his live feeds on the exact same platform and via the exact same medium and offers me an apology and takes back every single word that he says.
You see, Candace said, now this is where you lose respect from me. You hear what Steven Crowder said. I know that if you can't see it, the people on Salem News Channel can see it. But you'll see the clip of Candace, and she's just saying that she's gonna send a cease and desist to Steven Crowder because he alluded to the fact that she extorted him and other stuff like that, putting his kids in danger. But if you listen to the clip of Steven Crowder, he's claiming that his kids were in danger and that big prominent people alluded to his divorce.
Some, not all, but some of them in positions of power, influence, leverage, knew of this. They also knew that the safety of my children included keeping it private. So if you're familiar with the idea of extortion, then you know the feeling well. Now, some of these threats were so thinly veiled that I'm frankly surprised you didn't all guess immediately.
Steven has a lot going on. I guess is the best way to say it. He has a lot going on, and that should be clear because people don't do stuff like this if there's not a lot going on in their lives. I would like to implore my audience and everybody that isn't paying attention to the situation not to condemn him, but to pray for him. Sometimes people need a prayer. Sometimes people need a scripture. You know, Steven purports to be a Christian. I am unsure at this moment if it is my place to say more than that. maybe if I feel in further defense, something should be said, or maybe if I feel that the public has a right to understand certain circumstances.
Well, my children have a right to privacy. Now, some other issues have been, or I should say, inferences have been more pernicious behind the scenes with demands and threats to use this information that they believe would be so publicly embarrassing to me and my wife at a difficult time that it could be used, knowingly putting my children in harm's way. So to those self-styled Christians, conservatives, and allies, well, not in my book.
And then you heard Candace. This was on his show. Candace said he got a lot going on. She didn't say he got a lot going on in his family. She didn't say him and his family got a lot going on. She didn't say that him and his wife got something going on. Candace didn't say none of that. Then she followed up with, don't go after him. Let's pray for him. And this coward got on the social media and tried to act like somebody got his kids in danger. This is why I don't like. Hey, listen, man. I really want to stay out of the Steven Crowder thing, but I cannot respect these people, man. This man was looking for a quick come up in the social media world when he tried to out Daily Wire because they wouldn't pay him $58 million in a 3-year contract. He tried to out them and it backfired. I'm gonna give you an example, and then I'm gonna have to follow it up in the next set. I'm gonna give you an example of what this looks like. I'm monetized on YouTube. If I wanted to be fake like Steven Crowder and others, I will come out with this sob story. Now, I hope that I don't get demonetized in between time. But if I want it to be fake, I will come out with a sob story and say, oh, man, they demonetized me. Y'all need to help me. I don't know what I'm going to do now. They cut off all our finances. I got all my employees. Hey, sign up on this subscription base at $4.99 a month. If I were to get emotional and do that, and people are going to respond. And out of 2 million people on my social media, if 100,000 people sign up on a subscription base, which I think he had with the Blaze, for 100,000 people at $4 a month, that's $400,000 a month. That'll be way more than what you could make on YouTube. So if you're fake and you're leveraging the emotions of people that follow you and support you, you can make yourself a heck of a lot of money being fake. Let me just go back to the point of saying that you can make a lot of money being fake. Now, I'm going to have a subscription base, right? I'm going to have a premium subscription base for people that follow me that want exclusive content, meaning content that you ain't going to find nowhere else, content that I had to hire people to get. And I'm going to have a subscription base, which is smart to do it because if YouTube fires me today, it's going to go to zero. So, not fire me, but if they kick me off the thing, it's going to go to zero. So it's smart to have a listener-supported backup plan. However, you don't trick your people into signing up emotionally when you know that's not real. You know it's a money grab. And I believe that's what Steven Crowder was doing, in my personal opinion, based on what I observed, is that he literally tried to come out with his own thing and tried to use leverage to bash Daily Wire to get people fired up. Because he pretty much said these people are screwing influencers. He had this whole thing. They're screwing influencers, and I don't stand for that. You could come over to my platform. And he tried to get influencers to come to this platform. And if you're an influencer, we'll review your contract for free. And it makes me mad as an influencer because I know the trick that he's playing on people. I know what he's trying to do on the back end. He's trying to create a subscription base because he left the Blaze, and the Blaze owned the Mug Club with all of his subscriptions because they owned him. And now he wanted to try to divert all of those people out of the subscription with the Blaze and to go into his own subscription base with the arrogance of believing that he is worth more than what he really is, in my opinion. I think the Daily Wire puffed his arrogance up too. And he did that to his people that follow him. Now, there's a bunch of people that like Steven Crowder. They ain't going to listen to none I have to say. They're going to say I'm wrong. But I know what this is, man. And I don't like when people be fake. Just keep it real with your audience, man. You want to make a special content for them. If they want it, they'll pay for it. It's really that simple. Don't guilt trip people and gaslight people into believing that somebody done wronged you so you can make more money on your own, since you done walked away from the Blaze and you done walked away from a $58 million contract with Daily Wire. And then try to throw Candace under the bus. Now, you know Candace is my sister, so I got to come at you if you're talking crazy about my sister, especially if you're wrong. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'll catch you after the break. Hold the phone.